Hey guys, day 197. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm kind of excited for iOS 7, not because of the interface changes. I really don't care about that. iOS 6 works just fine for me. I don't have any problems with it, so, they want to change it, okay, whatever, as long as they don't make it worse. But one thing I really am crossing my fingers it fixes is this dreaded bug I have, where if I get a call in the middle of taking a video, the phone bricks. And I've got to hard reset it because it just goes almost blank. I'll see a faded little top bar and that's it. After the call ends, I can't do anything with the phone until it's completely reset. Such a pain in the butt because I shoot a lot of freaking videos and I get a lot of freaking calls. But anyway, last night after I edited last night's video, I took a while to upload because YouTube was glitching, and I think it went up at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous like that. But anyway, nothing I can do about that. I started a new project here, started a big photo shoot, so I wanted to show you guys a little bit about that. Hey guys, I thought I'd make this a little dual purpose video. For those of you watching on HLO, you're going to see this as a clip in today's video. And for those of you on Cigar Obsession, I thought I'd make this just because it would be of special interest to you. Give you a little bit of a behind the scenes here on a cigar photo shoot. Now this is a particularly large one. All of these boxes, these two big ones here, this one down here, this one up here, that big one down there, this one back here, and there's some more. These are all filled with basically all the top of the line, hard to find, super rare, very expensive cigars. Pretty much anything you can think of I've got here right now. Good 20-30 grand worth. All the Fuentes, got Casa Fuentes here. I've got all the Ashtons, the ESGs, the VSGs, the Opus X, the Anejos. Got all the limited Tatuajes, the Davidoffs, what else do I have here? All the rare special edition Punches, Macanudos, Partagas, La Glorias, all kinds of stuff. Basically all the big bucks. And I'm doing a huge shoot here for a large cigar store. And basically each one of those boxes is going to get 5 unique shots. A box open, a box closed, and 3 different configurations of the cigars themselves. So, one thing I'm doing is putting a lot of effort into the setup, because when I do these large shoots, and this is not my first one, by far not my first one, not even my biggest one, not even close, but it's important to put your time into prep. So what I've got here is, this is a little table. It's a combination of off-the-shelf parts and just custom stuff I've made. I've never found anything that you can buy in a store that works really great. Those are some legs, and they pretty much suck, but they give me a little extra height. But here's what I'm doing for this shoot. You can see that I've got everything pretty low, and there's one good reason for that. Basically, when I'm doing the cigar shots, the most important thing that I do with this little setup, this is basically a 2-part setup. I have 2 surfaces. I've got a white sheet and a clear sheet. What that gives me is height separation. I've got this set up right now for just a couple inches, which is about the minimum I go to. I can raise it up if I need to. But what this does is allows me to light the white without lighting the product. And that's important for post. Now, if you're only doing a few snapshots here and there, like, if you're a blogger, let's say, and you're doing pictures of a cigar, you might take, I don't know what, 2, 4, 10 at the most. Big deal. You don't need any kind of setup. Just take your picture and do whatever editing you want and you're done. Well, I'm doing like 6,000 pictures. So the editing is the most important thing, because that's where my time is and that's where my money lost is. So I have to minimize my editing. So the first thing I have to do is make sure I don't have to do any editing to the background in any of these pictures. I do that by using a setup like this, where I can light the white to pure white, and I don't have to do any editing to it in post. It's blown out. All I have to do is my cropping and my adjusting to the colors, and I'm done. Okay, real simple. I do that by lighting it separately here in the back. I've got two heads set up, and one is hitting the underside, and then one is hitting just the lower part of the top. And then everything else you see are custom flags. Flags are basically anything that just stops light, either from coming through or from reflecting. And I'm just setting this up right now. This is not final. This is what I use for what I call roughing in. And basically I've set up the shot, I've set up all my assembly for each type of shot I'm going to do. Now tomorrow, because it's like 2 in the morning right now, tomorrow I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get some black cardstock, and I'll cut out custom flags so I can just slide things in and out as I need to with different sizes, shapes, and configurations. But here I'm just cutting up a priority mailbox because it's a big piece of cardboard and it works fine, and I can just slice it to whatever size I need and figure out what I want. And that's just a black flag to prevent some bounce off my white tile, which usually isn't an issue because I'm using the legs, but because I'm right down on the floor, it actually is an issue in a couple of the shots. But here's basically what I do. I set up my background light, get that done, and then I just light the product with whatever lights I'm using in front. And here I'm just using two very large soft boxes, and they are hitting the product very evenly. Basically this camera right softbox is only lighting the right of the product on the top, and the left is only hitting the front and the top. I have them just far enough away so that they're not giving me any cross light. I don't want this affecting the right side of that product. If I were to pull this in close, it would give a much more wraparound light, and then I would lose contrast, and I would have a different ratio of light from this side to that. And my particular artistic style is a little bit higher contrast, so I do like a good bit of lighting ratio in there. That's just my personal style. Everybody does that differently, but this is part of what I do. Now the shot you see set up right here, and why I have this weird looking flag, is because this particular shot, this is the box close I'm going to do, is going to be from a relatively low angle. About like that. And without that flag in place, what you see, because these particular boxes, most of them are so glossy, they're acting as mirrors. And I see a little bit of reflection off the white. So I need to put a flag in place just where it kills all the reflections. And like I said, I'll make a quick one so I can just zip it out, because the boxes are all different sizes. So I'll need different angles and stuff like that. So that's very easy to do. And everything else here is the same thing. These are flagging. I've got this, or I can raise it and lower it depending on the height of the box, so that I don't catch reflection off the top of the box. Otherwise, if I remove that, I see a big white thing here in the middle because I'm seeing the background lighting the top of the box. But that varies product to product because different boxes have different heights. Some are big, flat, and square. This one's tall, skinny, and rectangular. So every shot needs a little bit of tweaking. So that is what I'm doing here. And then this morning, I'm continuing the work on it. I'm waiting on some feedback from the client to send over some proofs. I want to make sure that everything is hammered out ahead of time so that I can whip through everything over the next several days once I get final approval on the exact look that they're going for and they want delivered in the files. So I'm getting a head start here, and I'm prepping all the product. And believe it or not, just opening everything is going to take me, I don't know, probably 4, maybe 5 hours today. Here's what I got to do. It's ridiculous. You know, product work in general is pretty demanding, but cigars especially. Oh my goodness, the work that's involved, just the time and the details, and being very picky, especially because this stuff in photos it gets blown up. It's larger than life size, so you see all the flaws. So the first thing you have to do is open up every box and take the cellophane off the outside. Now I have to carefully, with a very sharp knife, got my nice Spyderco here, which, I don't know, I guess there's a lot of knife guys that for some reason watch my channel. But it's a Spyderco native. It's really nothing special. I got it years ago at Walmart. I think I saw like a thing on Slick Deals where people were going crazy over Walmart carrying Spyderco. I had no idea what Spyderco is, and I don't really care. It's just a tool for me. But it was like 30 bucks, and everyone was saying it's an awesome knife, and that was a smoking deal. So I needed a good utility knife just for opening packages and stuff around here, so that's what I got. And it's comfy, fits my hand well, and works. And it is razor sharp. I've sharpened it a couple times on my electric knife sharpener that I use for my kitchen stuff, and that's it. But I have to very carefully open all these seals. Some boxes are sealed all the way around, like these Ashtons, and some just have one, some on the front corner, some on the side. But these are obviously going to be resold, so I can't really muck up these labels. So I just follow the seam and very carefully cut it open. And then when you open a fresh box, you've got whatever kind of marketing materials is in here, and I need to save this and make sure it's all in perfect shape. And then be careful about any wrappings. Some use these paper, some have tissue paper flaps, so I have to be extra careful with that because they crease and get really nasty. Some will have ribbons. All are going to have cellophane, and this is the big pain in the butt, especially with some brands. This is why it's really critical that you be a detail-oriented person when doing this stuff. Look how evenly those bands are set up. Now the premium brands like this, and well, pretty much everything I'm going to be shooting in this batch, is going to be very well lined up. They put a lot of time in the factory to making sure that these bands are in the exact same spot on every single cigar, and every single cigar is the exact same size, and that they all line up exactly the same in the box so that when the customer opens it, bam, they have this beautiful presentation. Most brands do not put the kind of effort into doing that, and you'll see the bands up and down on each cigar. The cigars will be a fraction of an inch different one to another because their cutting molds aren't exactly the same, or the roller is just a little sloppy or working too fast, and they'll be in the box here shifted up and down a little bit. But Ashton here has a factory alignment where all the cigars are pushed to the top. All the bands are exactly even, and even down on the feet they are pretty darn perfect, so they use a very good cutting mold. So now I have to pull out all the cigars and take off the cellophane for each one. And you can imagine doing this for hundreds of boxes is going to take a long time. So there I've taken the cello off and carefully placed each one back in perfect shape and perfect position. Now, luckily, because I am working with all super premium brands here, when you pay for a super premium cigar, you are also paying for some purely aesthetic qualities, such as very beautiful tobacco on virtually all the cigars. When you buy a cheaper cigar, you're not paying for that, and you're going to see random veins and discolorations and more variation cigar to cigar. So I might have to even pick out the half best and put them on the top. But luckily here I don't really have to worry about picking specific cigars to go on the top. They all look good enough for the photos, at least, if not real perfect. I mean, you can see a couple little veins on these two here, but other than that, they are pretty smooth and flawless. And that is absolutely nothing bad. It's completely normal. Can't even feel it. It's just visual. But every single cigar in a cheaper one would have stuff like this, and it'd be random. So, you know, it's just something that costs extra because that has to be done by eye. Each box gets specifically matched together for as perfect color match as possible. Even though they're the same cigars, there can be 50, 60 different shades of brown that go into this. And there are special people in the factory that have the eye to take a table full of 200 cigars and match them all to the tiny little variations in shades and pack the boxes so they look like this. But the cheaper ones don't do that. And that's why these cost you, well, it's part of the reason why these cost you twice as much. It's purely aesthetic, has absolutely nothing to do with the way it smokes or the way it tastes. But people enjoy that, people want that, and that's what it takes. Human power, money, time. So there we go. That's another one done. On to the next. And I have hundreds of these boxes to do, so I'm going to get going on doing this today until I hear back from the client, and I'll probably start shooting the project sometime tomorrow. Well, it's about noon. I called the contractor guy again and left him a message. I said, look, I don't know if you're still having phone problems, not that I really believe he did in the first place, or what, but if I can't contact you, I can't work with you. So if you don't call me back by the end of the week and we get this rolling, I'm just going with somebody else. See ya. So I don't expect to hear from him again. You know, it's too bad. I have no idea why he's like he is, but oh well. So, you know, I'll try to find somebody. I'm still contacting people, but it's tough finding people that do everything. I found a couple guys that do, you know, part of the work. Like, I got a guy coming Monday, and I might hire him just to do what he can do, but he doesn't do tile work. I'd prefer just somebody to do it complete, but if I have to hire somebody just to do the drywall and the plumbing, okay, fine, I'll do that. No problem. So we'll see. But I'm kind of going stir crazy from unwrapping all these cigars, so I'm going to hit a ride and then hit a shower and then get some lunch. I'm pretty much out of food here. I used up all my batch. I got like one sandwich left of the chicken, but I don't have half a day to be cooking a batch of stuff right now. I need to get this project done, so I don't know. I'll figure something out, but I'm not like hitting fast food or anything like that. So let's go for a ride. Okay, I'm gonna find some lunch. Well, take a shower, find some lunch, and get back to work. I want to get all that done. Tonight, I expect to hear back from the client on feedback on the proofs sometime tonight. And that should be that. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share the site if you like what you see, and I'll continue losing weight. Woo! See ya.